Go. Good day, everyone. My name is Samuel Jumoke Gimisola, a 300 level student of Business Education, Group 14, for the course code FBA 311 titled Business Information Technology. The topic before us is database and data warehouse. But first of all, what do we mean by the word data? Information resources. How do you manage information, database, and data warehouse itself? Good. What do we mean by the word data? Data is the collection of facts. Data is a collection of facts and figures to be used for a specific purpose, such as survey and analysis. Now, what do we mean by the word information? Information is the collection of data, that is, a process data. What is information resources? Information resources is the collection of valuable information generated by human activities. It includes related equipment, personnel, and capital. Now, what are the types of information resources? Information resources can be structured information, unstructured information, semi-structured, and metadata. What is structured information? Now, every organization, equipment, personnel, and capital. Now, what are the types of information resources? Information resources can be structured information, unstructured information, semi-structured, and metadata. What is structured information? Now, every organization relies on structured information. This may include your last name, your first name, your address, or your phone number. But for unstructured information, they have no inherent structure. This part can never be they cannot be linked together. The next one is semi-structured. This comprises of structured and unstructured. What do we mean by metadata? Metadata is a data about data. It defines the field, the table, and the relationship. How do you manage information? You manage it through record, field, and table. Now, let's look at the types of data. We have two types of data. We have qualitative and quantitative. Qualitative depicts the description that may be observed, but they cannot be computed or calculated. We also have the quantitative data. Quantitative data can be measured, but they cannot be simply observed. These ones are collected numerically, and they are represented through calculation. Thank you.
Good day, everybody. My name is Shume Oluwafumilare, a member of Group 14, and I would like to continue from where my colleagues stopped. And I would like to talk about the reasons and why we use database. Database is used to store data and information, as we all know, and there are some particular data we can store on database, which includes the patient's medical reports, with items in an online store, financial records, and attendance of students in a class. So we go to the characteristics of database, which includes it allows multiple view of data. That is, it allows multiple viewers to use the data in the database at a particular time. It increases consistency. It lowers updating error and offers security and remove unuseful data in the database. There are various types of database we have, but I'll briefly explain few. There are central database, there is a cloud database, a personal database, and distributed database. So I would like to talk about each of it. So when we talk about the central database operates entirely in a single location. That is, it operates in only just one geographical operation, and it is used mostly in a bigger organization like universities, in a corporate world. For instance, the university library has a central database which transfers data from the central database, that's the central library, to departmental libraries, stores data in the internet, and you can access it anywhere you are. That is, it differs from the central database in the sense that central database is used in a single location, but a cloud database is used in different locations, provided you have all your internet access is available. Example of a cloud database include the Amazon Web Server, includes the iCloud and the Google Cloud. We move to the third one, which is the personal database. The personal database is, as the name implies, personal. That is, it is designed for just a single person, and it is used in a personal system. That's a personal computer, and it is used to save personal information, that's personal data for a particular user. Then we move to the fourth one, which is my final, where I will stop. It's the distributed database, and as the name implies, distributed, it is distributed among different devices, multiple devices, and it operates over multiple devices. Thank you.
My name is Agogo Aziz Ajibola, a group members of Group 14 with matric number 190319545. I'm here to present a topic which says database and warehouse. My part is advantages and disadvantages of database. With what my colleagues have said earlier, he defined database. Database is a collection of information and data. He also defined the uses of database. It is used for database is used for finance, for e-commerce, social media, and so on and so forth. I would like to define advantages and disadvantages of database. Number one advantages of database is, number one, it is used for further develop information sharing. Number two, it is used for further develop information security. Number three, it is used for further information access and better information reconciliation. When we are saying it is used for further develop information, this is when information is shared from one place or from one individual to another. When we say further develop information security, this is when the information is very secure in a serene and in a serene place. When we say develop information access, this is when information is being able to access it from one place to another. So let's move to disadvantages of database. Number two, expended expenses. When we are talking about expended expenses, that means all the expenses incurred in the database is very cost. It's very cost. When we are talking about it's very cost, that means it's very voluminous. Number two of disadvantages of database. Number two, keeping up with money. When we are talking about keeping up with money, in fact, database in short, it requires a lot of money to be able to build a database. And the number three.
My name is Osheni Abiodun Rachel. I would like to talk about data warehousing, the characteristics of data warehousing, the difference between database and data warehousing. Now, data warehousing is an information system which stores historical and communicative data from single or multi sources. It is designed to analyze, report, integrate transaction data from different sources. We also need to know that data warehousing analyze, report, process of an organization. It is also a single version of truth of the organization for decision making and forecasting process. Now, let's talk about the characteristics of data warehousing. Data warehousing, we all know that data warehousing, data subject oriented, as it offers information related to teams of ongoing operation. Is comprised with other operational systems. Data warehousing previous data cannot be erased when it enters it. Then let's talk about the difference between the database and the data warehousing. Database is the collection of related data, represents elements of the real world. Then data warehousing is an informational system that stores historical and communicated data from single or multi sources. We also know that database is designed to record data. What is happening? The data you collected, the real world. Like let me make an example of a school now. Let's say University of Lagos as a whole. When students come to the school, they collect their matric number, their name, their gender. It's part of what we call database. So we now save it to the data warehouse. That is, we put it in one place. That is the data warehousing, like our CIT. So when we are talking about data warehousing, it's an information system that stores historical and complicated data from single or multi sources. Then we also have database is designed to record data, while data warehousing designed to analyze data.
Then we also have database is an application-oriented collection of data, while data warehousing is a subject-oriented collection of data.